As one ascends into the higher positions of this region, at some point they drop all the lower bodies and behold themselves as a being of light. I would say that this is where a true spiritual position is, and not at all on any of the lower realms of spiritual marketing tactics. It's here that the real you is realized and experienced, and all the knowledge of the lower realms is revealed and perceived. From this fifth level, one then enters the deep, dark border of the sixth level. Through the vast darkness, this special journey finally takes one into the seventh level, the first real universe of sound and all light of the all is. It is here that one experiences a joy and happiness beyond anything conceivable from that of the lower mind and bodies. Here, one is a magnificent being of real light, and not the secondary light, like that of the astral and the mental worlds. There are endless positions of being real on the seventh level, as one positions themselves among others who are equal in light, strength, and being and beingness. Upon this level, there are vast oceans and rivers that contain the real fountain of youth. There exists here an awesome brilliance of silvery light, with giant golden castles that cover the endless vastness and into a foreverness sky. From the lower levels to this one and above, there is always a great sun in the endless skies, which represents the all is, that is everywhere and supports all things and beings. Wow. Anything one wants is already available here on the seventh level, as it is the first real universes of the all-isness, of the true reality, the all is. The real beings of light are countless in numbers here, and there is no darkness, no pollution of any type of discordance, but only a real life. As one establishes themselves here, they no longer have to return to the lower psych realms and take on any or more unconscious bodies. Here is where the real you shines, brighter than 100 suns, as there is only pure joy and pure happiness beyond any belief or imagination that a person can consider. When the real you is ready, the real guide will then escort one into the higher universes to where one eventually is positioned in the most hidden and secret of all places, that of the true source of all life. The all is. So wonderful and unapproachable is this pure reality. There are no words even to describe it. It is here that one perceives reality with their being, as nothing of a literal self can exist here. The all is perfection beyond mention. And there are no rules, regulations, and controls here. Only radiant, real truth and endless, real freedom to be in. On the seventh level, one is a pure, formed, radiant being. From the seventh level and beyond, one is more like a ball of light, perceiving all that is, and seemingly moving with the brilliant, dazzling lighted universes, ever onward to the true source, the all is. There is no actual movement in the real universes, as everything is a pureness. From the psychic realms, with its defined literal senses of existence, the real universes are especially unique for their pure quality of clear and clean realness. This is why it's hard for anyone to imagine reality, because it is far too real and wonderful. The best advice I can give to a person who wants to experience the true reality is first imagine themselves like the sun in the sky, to where they are shining upon all with no attitudes, just being like the sun is. This is how the all is. Once people understand how pure and wonderful the all is, they will no longer have to grovel to the gods of man, and especially to the contrived marketing tactics and intimidation of the authoritarians and their malicious armies. Again, the whole of life is about becoming more aware. And once a person decides this, the real guides can assist one into the real light of life, far beyond all the secondary thrills of the lower mind realms. It takes great courage for a person to see through their upbringing and conditioning, but once they do, they can learn to perceive the true reality. Now that's a real goal to really work for. I mean, really, it takes great courage for a person to see through their upbringing, as we all have been, like Val just said with his little toy soldiers and all that. He has to see through all that and their upbringing and conditioning. But once they do, they can learn to perceive the true reality. With the true completeness course of the new presentation, one is introduced to real guidance, a real education, real truth, and real freedom. From the real guides, one learns true sincerity, true humility, and true gratitude, and true purity. Now those are goals, something that we all can attain if we really have the courage and have that longing to really, really know truth. What is this all about? Why am I here? All those answers will be answered. All those questions will be answered in the best possible way.
Yes, and like you read, we have the answers ourselves. It's just a matter of seeing it. Thank you, Lila, for reading. I noticed what caught my attention was the part about your endless positions that we can be in. I see it as both in the psychic worlds and the real universes. In the psychic worlds, you have the tap lines that are affecting your positioning, and these can prevent or obscure some of the recognition you have with your positioning in the real universes. So beware of the tap lines, because they're the ones that are holding you back or restricting you. You're actually restricting yourself to these agreements you've made with certain ideas or people or attitudes, whatever it may be. There's something that's holding you back from seeing more. But it's really interesting how we are able to assume different positions, endless positions. To me, it's so cool. But people seem to be stuck here. This is in the physical here with our physical lives. It's only one position, one very minute position. And people see it as a reality. It's so big. It's bigger than they play it up to be bigger than really what it is. Because life is so much more big than just this physical part. And the physical part we have with ourselves here. So endless positions is just so cool. We can assume endless positions and have the freedom to just in the creative world, the creation world, it's a movement to assume these positions. But in the real universe, it's just seeing it because it already exists. So you're just being it. You just have to recognize it. Whereas the psychic world's here, it appears to be movement because there's the mind sees it that way. But the real universe is just, it already is. So it's a matter of perceiving it, and then you are it, that position. And it's endless. It's just so cool. Tim, do you have anything for that too? Pass it to you.
Sure. Yeah, sure. There's so much in the words to try to relate to and perceive, like the sun in the sky. Let's each of us be as we decide. It's the free will. It lets each of us decide what we want to do, or it doesn't interfere. It's our decision in life to, and it sounds like very few of us at this time are going to catch on to what's being presented, but lucky those who do. But without a real guide, even if you get into this astral projection stuff or remote viewing or things like that, without the real guide, you're just going to be stuck there for a while because you think that's such a great place to be, but you end up coming back into the physical stuff to continue on in the psych realms. It's all amazing about the opportunity of the fountain of youth in the 7th level with the oceans and rivers and pure joy, pure happiness. What that is, we only can experience. I guess we couldn't know. It's just how we experience something, and endless freedom. We can pretty much do whatever we want to in the real universes where it's all clean and clear. I'm thankful for this opportunity and for the efforts that are being put out, like Lila's bedtime stories, so that we hear these words and discuss them and think about them and get to try to get this guidance and this education so we can get to be like a ball of light in the real universes and have that real joy and real happiness. Such an opportunity.
Yeah, to really, really know real happiness, real love, not the dramas that we go through every day. There's something more than that. It takes courage to see through your upbringing and what you're told in school, by your parents, by everyone. You don't have to believe that. There's more to life that you can learn to perceive the true reality. It makes for a very exciting and challenging life.
Mm-hmm.
This is a challenge, but it's well worth it. Putting our efforts into it and our lives into this. And so with that, it's time to close this chapter of Lila's books for tonight. And we're going to wish everyone pleasant and wonderful dreams. There's so much to dream about. Shall we all sing the New You? New You, You. Thank you very much, and good night, and pleasant dreams.
Good night. Happy dreams.
Thank you, Lila.
Sure, thanks.
Good night.
We'll see you. Good night. Happy dreams.